Welcome to Golf World's 2017 Hybrids Test. We've got the latest offerings from Ping, Callaway and Mizuno. We're here on the range at the Belfry, so let's put these things into action and see what they can do.
Following on with Callaway's Epic story from driver, fairway wood and irons, they bring out the Epic Hybrid. A similar eco frame with the carbon crown, which means they can push a lot of their framework down and deep into the club. It has a cup face technology in the face, and also comes with the classic Callaway, a very self-intuitive hosel, which allows for adjustability.
The Callaway Epic Hybrid was probably the one that least suited my eye when we first put them down behind the ball. It's kind of your least traditional hybrid, if you like, with the high toe. And it looks like it might be a bit harder to launch. In reality, the opposite was true. It got the ball up very quickly. The spin numbers were good. I'm a low spinner of the ball, and this generated enough backspin to hold the ball in the air for a long time. So the more I hit it, the more I realized it was actually for a far wider range of player than my initial reaction was.
Yeah, really good. I mean, Epic as a product line has great feel off the face. They've used a new steel margin face as well this year with this product, which gives a lovely, crisp, solid feel off the face. Did launch quite high in terms of testing, was certainly when I hit it and a few of the other, and Adam hit it as well, and spun kind of mid-spin, so launched high, came out well, and then kind of plateaued out and spun kind of medium. In terms of ball flight though, very easy to strike. Obviously it's got a nice even classic shape, so it does set up quite square behind the ball, although a little bit deep in the toe side, so it might suit that player that likes to see a little bit more toe. I think it'll suit probably most mid-range golfers, to be fair, although in theory you could probably go low with this because it has got a weight chip low down in the middle of the head, which will keep the spin down a little bit, but it probably will set up for more the sort of mid-handicap or that sort of 10 to sort of 15 handicap player. Mizuno CLK Hybrid is a follow-on from last season with the 900. It's similar technology in that they have this wave technology in terms of where the sole is designed, although this year they've ramped it up and they've really deepened and defined that channel, which really works in terms of delivering really good speeds across the face. They have a cup face technology in the actual face design, and also Mizuno's hosel, which allows for adjustability through a couple of different loft settings and also a little bit more draw.
So the Mizuno CLK is an absolutely classic looking club head. It looks superb down behind the ball. It's symmetrical, it's beautiful. There's a little bit of bulge and roll. It's almost like a bit of a mini driver profile, which a lot of players are really going to like. The shaft's an inch longer and it is powerful. It was the longest for pretty much all of our testers. A little bit lower spinning than the other two. So for me, who likes a bit of extra spin, that kind of worked against it. But for a couple of other testers who don't have any trouble getting the ball up in the air and spinning it, they absolutely loved this and it performed fantastically well for them.
It was great. I have to say, I was very, very impressed with this. Thought it was going to carry a little bit from last year where we didn't really get the sort of speeds that we were expecting. They put a really nice shaft in this as well this year, the Speeder Hybrid. That wave technology really delivers. You'll see high speeds. You'll also see it come out relatively high in terms of hybrids, but it does flatten out quite quickly, so it is flat in the air, even though it launches quite high.
Another thing of note about this is its consistency. Whatever it was doing for you, it was doing consistently well. Whether or not that quite suited your profile as a golfer is another matter, but you know this is going to deliver the same sort of spin numbers and trajectory pretty much every time you hit it.
A bit like the Callaway, this will suit quite a broad range of player, although it will go down into the lower handicappers. Lower handicappers will like this club immensely. If you're sort of struggling with those long irons and you want to get something that gets it up quick but flattens out and gets it going in terms of distance, this is the club. It will also deliver great on speed. So if you're lacking a little bit of speed and you want a little bit more ball speed out of this, this will deliver. It's also very classic in terms of shape and design, so very unfussy in terms of look. So if you're thinking about a hybrid and you want to get it up and flat and long, this is the one to go for. I was interested to see this because obviously the hybrid's following on from the G400 range, driver, fairway wood and the iron. Wanted to see is could they bring it to the game in terms of how the iron and driver have delivered, and yes, they have. A steel margin face, which is really crisp, solid off the face. You get a lovely high pitched hit from it. Set the weight low and deep in this, which helps to get the ball flying, and then obviously the famous turbulators to help to diffuse the wind over the top of the head as it comes through impact.
Ping are all about getting the ball in the air with their hybrids. They've done it for the last few generations, and the new G400 does exactly that. That weight port in the back brings the CG lower and deeper than in most other hybrids on the market, and it does exactly what you'd expect: high launch and high spin. Now, for the majority of guys going into a hybrid, these are guys that aren't getting it in the air, that aren't spinning it enough with a long iron, so that is exactly what you're looking for. It's perhaps a little less easier to control and square up than the other two because it's got that amount of spin and that high launch. But personally, I'd much rather have a club that is really easy to get the ball in the air and I have to work a little bit to square the face up and swing smooth on it than a club that I'm really working to try and get in the air. After all, the hybrid is there to help you launch it high and spin it more, and that's exactly what this club head does.
Ping were never going to bring a product to market that didn't fly, and their specialty is get it in the air and keep it there. So high launching, high spinning. So you want to get something in the air, you want to keep it there and get it in soft into the green. This will definitely deliver in terms of that. This is your nervous golfer, not too sure about what to buy. You know, it's also the best priced of the three, which means that it's quite affordable in terms of hybrid. It will get the ball in the air quickly and it will spin. So if you're struggling with long irons, you're struggling to get the ball into the air, you're sort of normal mid to high handicapper, this is definitely the one for you. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of confusion about where hybrids come in. The easiest way for me to explain this to people is, and certainly the people that come for fittings with me, is they're technically long iron replacements. So you need to take long irons out of the bag. But don't be afraid of maybe putting in two hybrids where you split up the distances. So the trick is to find your longest iron that you're comfortable hitting, work out how far that goes, and then your longest wood in terms of being able to hit that, and then basically match them in between in terms of distance. So really, but think of them as iron replacements and not wood replacements, because they will not go as far as fairway woods.
So there we have it, three hybrids that all do something a little bit different. The Callaway with its high launch, mid spin, the Ping's high launch, high spin, and the Mizuno's lower launch, mid spin. There's something to suit you however you hit the ball. So get the right hybrid in the bag and go and play some great golf.